This is the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, your daily moment of calm, guidance, and encouragement as we navigate aging, caregiving, and living well together. Now, let's get on with today's episode.
Hello, everyone. This is Esther Kane. Welcome to today's Senior Safety Advice Daily Podcast, your daily moment of calm, guidance, and encouragement as we navigate aging, caregiving, and living well together. Today, I want to talk about something simple, yet I think it's deeply powerful, and that is writing a gratitude letter to a caregiver. It doesn't have to be fancy or long. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Actually, nothing has to be perfect, but it can be life-changing for both you and the person who cares for you. You know, caregiving can often feel invisible. It's done quietly in the early mornings, during long nights, and in moments when no one's watching. And while most caregivers don't do it for thanks, a few kind words can make all the difference. Think about the last time someone truly acknowledged what you did. Not just thanks, but I see how much effort you put in. Didn't that quote lift your spirit? That's the power of gratitude in motion. When you take a moment to put your appreciation into words, you're not just giving thanks, you're giving recognition. You're reminding your caregiver that what they do really matters. When I worked as an occupational therapist, I met countless caregivers. They were spouses, adult children, neighbors, even friends from church and the neighborhood, or longtime friends who gave so much of themselves. One that still stands out to me was a woman that I'm going to call Helen, who cared for her husband after he had a stroke. She came to every therapy session, always carrying a small notebook that she filled with notes, his exercises, his diet, questions for the doctor, any tips that we gave her. She rarely talked about how tired she was, but you could see it in her eyes. One day, her husband surprised her. He had written, painstakingly, and with the help of myself, occupational therapist, a short note that said, quote, "You are my reason for getting better," end quote. Helen cried when she read it. It wasn't long or fancy. It was heartfelt. And that single note changed the energy between them. I've never forgotten that moment because gratitude, especially when it's written down, has a way of strengthening the very bond that caregiving depends on. Now, you might be wondering, well, why write a letter instead of just saying thank you? Well, here's the thing. Spoken words fade, but written words last. A note can be reread on a hard day. It can be tucked into a drawer, pulled out later when your caregiver feels weary or unseen. Writing also slows you down. It helps you to reflect. You know, the writer. You start to notice not just what your caregiver does, but who they are, their patience, their humor, their steady presence. And that shift from noticing actions to appreciating character deepens your own sense of peace and gratitude. Now, research backs this up too. Studies from the University of California show that writing gratitude letters boosts happiness and lowers stress for both the writer and the receiver. So it's not just a kind act, it's a healing one. If you're not sure where to start with this activity, let's walk through it together. You don't need to be a writer. You just need to be sincere. So here's a simple structure that you can follow. 1. Start with a warm greeting. It could begin by using, their name, Dear Susan, or my wonderful daughter, or even to the person who helps me every day. And 2, say what you're thankful for. Be specific. Instead of something like, thank you for everything, you might say, thank you for making me laugh when I get frustrated, or thank you for helping me keep my independence. 3, share how their care makes you feel. Let them know the difference they make. For example, because of you, I feel safe, or you make my days calmer and brighter. And 4, Include a memory or a moment. Think of, or try at least to think of one time that touched your heart, like when they stayed late, or made your favorite meal, without you asking, or held your hand when you were scared. Memories make the letter personal and meaningful. And then 5, end it with a heartfelt closing. You might write, I am grateful for you every day, or you are my greatest blessing. Sign it however feels right, love, with gratitude, or just simply your name. It's that simple. A few sentences can carry so much love. And if you happen to be the caregiver listening to this podcast today, this message is still for you, because sometimes it's okay to write a gratitude letter to yourself. Caregiving can feel thankless, and if you're a caregiver, you know that. So why not give yourself the acknowledgement you deserve? Write down what you've learned, how strong you've become, and how your love shows up in action every single day. It's not self-centered, it's self-care. You're reminding yourself that your effort matters, and it truly does. Of course, you don't have to hand your letter over right away. You might want to read it aloud over coffee or leave it on the table as a surprise for your caregiver. You can even record yourself reading it and send the audio if writing is extremely difficult. The format doesn't matter. It's the feeling. The feeling matters. Some families I've worked with make gratitude a monthly ritual. They write, each of them, or however many people are in the family, write a short note, even just a few lines, to someone in the family who helped that month. It becomes a shared reminder that everyone contributes to the circle of care. And if your caregiver is a professional caregiver, like a home aide or a therapist or a nurse, that note can mean the world. It's a way to say, you made a difference in my life. And I've seen those notes taped to staff bulletin boards for years. I've received many of those notes myself, and I still have them. So here's my invitation to you. Before the day ends, write your letter. Don't overthink it. Just start with, I want to thank you for something simple, or follow the 5 steps that I mentioned earlier. Let your heart guide the rest. If you need to, you can even dictate it to someone or record it on your phone first. What matters is that you express it. And if you're a caregiver listening, maybe today's the day you write a note to someone who helps you, a sibling who checks in, a neighbor who brings groceries, or even a friend who just listens. Gratitude has a ripple effect. It grows wherever it's given. At the end of the day, caregiving and receiving care are both acts of love. They can be hard, tiring, and emotional. But when gratitude is added in, everything softens. It reminds us that behind every task is a person with a heart, with effort, and with intention. A simple letter can say what words in the moment sometimes can't. I see you. I appreciate you. You matter to me. And those 3 messages are worth more than any gift you could give. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode spoke to your heart, share it with someone, maybe even the person you're writing your letter to. You'll find more guides, inspiration, and printable resources for seniors and caregivers at seniorsafetyadvice.com. Come back tomorrow for another daily moment of calm, guidance, and encouragement right here on the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. Until next time, take care of yourself and the ones you love.
This podcast is part of our mission to help older adults live safely and independently. If you'd like to take the next step, visit aginginplacedirectory.com, where you'll find specialists, helpful resources, and inspiration to make every home your place to thrive.